IBG News Market Dost series with analyst Vishal Sharma. Know your stock market and take informed decisions. No risk, no gain. Without knowledge, everything is pain. Trade responsibly. Make your safest bet to reduce loss.
Welcome viewers and welcome Udayji. We are having Uday Krishna Pedireddi from Hyderabad, India. Our beloved Uday Bhai, a man with many colors, many moods, and most importantly, a truly golden heart. Welcome Udayji, and also to our viewers, also to our uh, patrons, whoever is watching this live globally. Uh, I'm very lucky that we have received the consent for this episode from Udayji just before the Earth Day. He is a in and out nature loving person, and viewers, I can tell you, our friendship started from a jungle itself.
Exactly.
Ultimately, we both are jungly guys. Okay, the wild side of ours, and that too in a wildlife photography contest of Nat Geo and Canon. So luckily, we got both was the jury award winner there. So Mike Pandey was the person. So Uday, it's a long time, 1 decade of association, and I really appreciate your support. So, friends, let us see something about Uday. Apart from he is a very good student, graduated master degree from US in advanced management. He is a truly management guru in his field. His team is doing a wonderful job of translocating trees which are due for cut off by the authorities for road widening or any other development purpose. He has saved thousands of trees across India. So truly a tree man. The people with love call him like that. Yes, and very few knows he is a golden hand with the camera. Master wildlife photo artist, I must say, not only a photographer, photo artist. तो दोस्तों, ये गुफ्तगू को आगे लेने से पहले हम लोग देखना चाहते हैं कि उदय को डिस्क्राइब हम लोग कैसे कर सकते हैं. Let us have a small video on Udayji itself. Uday, with your permission, we are going to show this to our viewers. Let's see.
Pleasure is mine, Dada. Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Story of the Tree Man of India. A golden heart for nature. I am Uday, literally means the sunrise, and I start my days early when Mother Nature unfolds a new day with lots of possibilities. I prefer to deep down in meditation with the call of the wild at Foxtail Eco Resort whenever I can. I can find myself and a better alter ego in the wild. Good morning tea with lots of freshness in the heart, the day starts. My team looks at the opportunity at hand to save a life in nature. Oh yes, my team VATA Foundation helps to save trees to get translocated into a new place and start living again. Saving them from premature death. After a hard day at work, sharing a meal with the beautiful minds living at the edges of society is the most beautiful moment with those priceless smiles. Clicking the kings of the jungle and walking in the meadows alone is my best pastime, sometimes seating at the edges of the cliff to say, I am ready for new challenges. Slowly with sundown, I enjoy the Mother Nature and her sound of music of silence. I, Uday Krishna Pedireddi, live for nature and my country.
So welcome back, friends. Telling something about Uday under 2 minutes is really a daunting charge. And I don't think I have done any justification to his versatile career and passion for nature and work. Uday, sorry if I have missed anything. Uh, Obviously, I have missed many, but still, I try to give a glimpse of your great work. So, first of
Thank you.
all, tell me one thing. Hyderabad, the nerve center of Indian culture, Indian cuisine, the dance, education, whatnot, and the place where North and South converges into one India. And in truly, हैदराबाद दिल में रहता है सबका. तो
Yes, sir.
हैदराबाद को कोई बात नहीं दे सकते. So now my question is, from when you feel this urge for the nature, restoring nature and wildlife photography, can you tell us about, is it from your very childhood, or suddenly you got a passion for this and become a guru in this?
Can you hear me, Dada? I'm sorry, I lost you in
Yeah,
between.
yeah. I can hear you. The thing is, my question is, from when you developed, we had a technical snag. Our friend will join soon, so let us just wait for a minute. Just before Uday joins back, I want to give some very good information about Uday. Uday, apart from he has done his MBA from US, he has done a lot of technical and other stuff in career. So he is back.
Sorry, the
Anyhow,
small
yeah.
small technical issue.
Thunderstorms रहता ही है nature में. It's a part of the nature. So as in this, no
Yes.
issues. So our question was, before you just got disconnected and joined back, when you developed your passion for this mother nature.
But it started very early in my life, Dada. I mean, I happened to have spent a lot of time in the wild because my mother's village was almost like in the jungle in Nizamabad. So very early in my life, I would go into treks into the jungle. But those days I was very naive. I didn't know many signs of the jungle, like pug marks. I didn't know what the noises were. So looking back now, I was really lucky to have come back alive from many of those treks I went into the jungle as a kid, because I must have come across pug marks, bears, leopards. So, but basically the urge for wildlife, I mean, the jungle started very early in my life, and fortunately, I did spend a good amount of my childhood in the jungle. So every summer was in the jungles. So I must have probably picked up from somewhere during those years, when I spent a lot of time in the jungle. So and as I grew up, I started nurturing the photography was one other angle to all of this. So photography, basically, being a wildlife, or everybody wanted to become a wildlife photographer at some point in their life. I mean, who spend time outside. So taking a camera, going out into the jungle, taking pictures, it made me look at things a little bit more closer, with the lenses and all. You get to see life a little bit more closer, and then you realize there is so much that you don't know. So the curiosity started building up, like, how is this happening? Why does this happen? And the more time you spend in the jungle, the questions started increasing. So I think I got absorbed into all of this with both my early days in the jungle as well as my passion for photography. It's a combination.
Udayji, I remember that very good old 1 decade old story of our Ranthambore visit. Dear friends, let me recollect it. It was the very first day when we reached the Bagh Safari Hotel. That was the venue from where everything started. So
Sticky thing.
everybody was asking question, where you are from, what you do. One very calm, quiet, and shy kind of personality was sitting idle. That is this man. And that point of time, this much white was not there in the beard, but surely the personality is something like, um, what I should say, Chiranjeevi of wildlife or something. तो क्या हुआ, the organizer Kahini Ghosh Mehta, Shivang Mehta's wife, she was the coordinator. She came and she said, hey Suman, she was a Bengali, And she said, Suman, you know, Uday is a very nice gentleman. You are assigned to take care. You are my brother from Calcutta. You have to take care. मैंने बोला अरे वो तो टेंट में रहेगा, हम तो रहेगा 2 माले पे, हम तो होटल को चूज किया. तो मैं जाया, जाके पहला टाइम बोला आई एम फ्रॉम कलकत्ता. वो ऐसे देखा, अच्छा सो यू आर फ्रॉम द प्लेस ऑफ रसगुल्ला.
Rasgulla.
But believe me, the entire sweetness was from Uday's side. And very soon, he proved that he is from the jungle in childhood. I saw a caterpillar was moving inside his tent. He took a dry leaf, took it on that dry leaf, and placed it slowly, safely in a branch of a tree so that it don't get hurt or get smashed by anybody's under the feet. So this is Uday, and that the moment he caught my heart completely. I still remember this incident. He might have forgot,
I forgot
and the
that.
person who and the person who is standing here, he is the ex top officials of Amex. You know that other guy, Sanjay Nagar.
Okay, okay, Dada.
Sanjay Da was there, next to your tent. He said he was South Point guy. He was born and brought up in Kolkata. He is very good speaking in Bengali. He told me, Suman, you saw that? How much passionate he about wildlife? This is the thing to learn. From that day, in the entire 4 day trip, I tried to follow Uday where he is going and where he is pointing his camera. Because I know he is a seeker who is actually finding the birds and all the things. And luckily, I got my tiger snap because of Uday. Inside that bush, the tiger was sitting. You remember, everybody
Yes,
was
sir.
trying to get the picture. You and me were the lucky guy who got the picture. So
Yes,
Uday
sir.
is very much keen from the childhood itself. It's not just a story. He proved it throughout his life. I saw and I am the eyewitness to it. Uday, now come to your VATA Foundation. This is a very commendable job you are doing. You are fighting with the authorities, sometimes with them, against them, just to save a tree.
Yes, sir.
क्या होता है, एक पेड़ काट देने से तो झंझट खत्म होता है. Why you people are taking so much pain to translocate one full grown tree into new place, monitor it for a while so that the new branches come out and it starts living, breathing again? Amazing.
Yes, sir. It started in 2010, Dada. The
Okay.
translocation, my role in translocation, Dada. It was totally by an accident. So I was putting up a structure in the city where in the footfall about 16 trees were going.
Mhm.
So I got the permissions to cut the trees. It was good monsoon time. I had some equipment on hand. So I said, why don't we just try this? So I found one lane right besides the project, totally dead lane. So that lane didn't have any trees. Brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Oxtail Eco Resort. Uday owns that in Kipeshwar. I was telling the viewers while you were away that Uday owns a eco resort also in midst of a tiger reserve, very much maintaining all the protocol of the forest and wilderness. It's a wonderful place. If people wants to visit it, you can get in touch with our channel, and we will give you all the details how to go there and reach there, and you will feel at home inside the jungle. And what else you want when Uday is there?
So basically, it started off as an accident. So I found this lane right besides my project where there were no trees, and here I was cutting about 16 trees. So I spoke to the residents of the homes in that lane. I told them I will bring these trees and put it in the lane for you, free of cost. Will you water it? So that was like they looked at me like an idiot. I mean, what is he talking about? But then they didn't have to bear any expenses, so they said okay, fine. So I moved these 16 trees, out of which 13 survived. So that was an eye opener. I said, we are actually losing so many trees for development, and these trees actually survive if you just move them, to a new place with very very little care. So and I've done it totally unprofessionally. I was not even trained in this job, and the trees survived, and the survival rate was also very good. So that was the starting point. Then I had a 1 or 2 years of little break where I didn't really get to do much of activity. But in 2015, I decided to start it under a banner, a name. So I started VATA Foundation. So I had three areas that I chose to work in. So one was to save the tiger, basically by adopting jungles and filling in with the department in what is needed to ensure that the tigers are safe. Then the tiger corridor strengthening. So between jungles, the tigers need a pathway because after the tiger cub is fully grown, it has to find its new home. So it needs a safe passage to the other jungles, which is called a tiger corridor. So strengthening
Mm.
the tiger corridor was the second area I chose, but we really didn't do much work in that area. And third one, because being based out of a city which is developing rapidly, a lot of trees are being cut. So I thought I should take up translocation as the saving the urban greenery as one of the options. So the third option was to save urban greenery. In that, the translocation had become a major part. So
उदय जी, आपको एक चीज मैं बताना चाहता हूँ यहाँ पे. You are not only saving the tree, a piece of nature or a life, or these all people knows afforestation, all these things are good job, but you are doing an additional job which you may be doing without knowing even. You are saving the history of our country. How? Maybe, say for example, some trees are 100 years old. Maybe Mahatma Gandhi has sat on the basement of that tree, or maybe Lokmanya Tilak, or maybe your Bhagat Singh, or maybe your Sardar Patel or Netaji Subhash, or any Muhammad Rafi, Kishore Kumar, Lata ji, whoever, or Amitabh Bachchan, maybe during Sholay. You don't know which tree had the touch of those great legends.
yes,
Sometimes.
I never thought of this side of it.
Exactly. Now, if you
So
have
yeah,
saved a banyan tree which is 100 or 125 years old, just think of the great personality who have passed through that banyan tree during the lifetime.
the tree must have
You are
really seen a
saving
lot of
a piece of history too.
yes,
This
sir.
is called the living archaeology. मंदिर रहता, buildings रहता, palaces रहता, these are all part of archaeology. But tree, Bodhi Gaya and Bodhi tree, under whom
Living heritage.
Bhagwan Buddha got the enlightenment, that is a piece of history also. If
Yes,
you are saving that,
absolutely true. Absolutely
if
true,
you are
sir.
saving that, that means you are saving the history of India too. It's not only a nature work, but also it is a conservation of our history and natural history, you can say.
I never thought
So
of this angle.
तो ये एडिटर ने आपको एक नया एंगल दे दिया आपका काम का.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
तो बात ये है, what I want to say, the message through you to the kids, that love the nature. Nature never harms you.
Absolutely.
Even the most painful tree or plant have some medicinal value in it,
It does.
which creates the Ayurvedic medicine for you.
True that.
Sometimes you cannot do your offering prayers to your Lord, whoever it is, in any faith. Flower is required to show your respect to the newborn, to the death, to the marriage, wherever you go. You need flower, and that can come from a tree only. If you want to have a
Absolutely.
good perfume, you
That
need
has to again come
that
from Allah.
perfume from the nature. केमिकल परफ्यूम से नेचुरल परफ्यूम अच्छा रहता.
Absolutely.
Who can
Yes,
ignore the smell of roses and the importance of red roses to start your relationship? All youth will appreciate my word.
absolutely.
So, I'm coming back to our discussion. So, Vata Foundation started work from your Hyderabad and surroundings, and suddenly you realized that this is a pan-India, perhaps the entire world needs your service. So last time, 2 3 months back, we are discussing that even in Bengal you had to come, or you may have to
Yes,
come and do some translocations.
yes,
So
sir.
we'll be waiting for your team to come and with open arms we are ready to accept your help. So आपने आप till now in which state you have visited to perform this noble work?
Tata, we have now Telangana, Andhra, Maharashtra, Goa, UP. These five
So
states we have already done work.
that great banyan tree of Goa you have saved. I
Yes, yes.
remember. That is a
That was
famous
a
case.
100+ year old tree.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
tree had a very good story, which actually attracted me during COVID.
So that tree itself is the history of Portuguese Goa, liberation of Goa, 100 years old. So
Yes,
both the things that tree have seen. So
it
it's a
has seen
piece of
all those.
history you said.
Absolutely right,
Correct?
absolutely right. Yes, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So, now I will suggest through this forum, and I appeal to the government of India and central government that you don't know how you inspired me. You know, I have started one rituals in my family, direct my family. If any unfortunate death happens, I do the rituals, but don't do anything other than that. I plant 100 trees in the name of departed soul.
It's wonderful, Dada.
As a token of appreciation, every day I give water to those plants so that I remember dad, mom, uncle, whoever has passed away. Lord bless them with Om Shanti and they rest in peace. Or if a new member comes within my family, my brother, sister, nephew, whatever, I plant again 100 trees so that the newborn gets the required oxygen in his lifetime. If entire India starts this ritual towards the mother nature, we will not have any negative footprint of carbon. We will
Absolutely right.
be we will be carbon footprint free,
Absolutely.
oxygen plus country like Bhutan. We will have a more greener India, and we will be having the Soneka Chidiya once again back in our fold.
Yes. Because our
And
weather is
you
very unique.
inspired me and you inspired me to start this ritual in this. I am confessing this in front of the public, and really I appreciate your inspiration. So
Thank you.
Udayji, if I have to inform you that there is say a number of trees are getting cut down because of road widening in any parts of India, how people can reach you, and what are the things they should have in their hand to get the help, or what you expect from the entire locality to stand by you or something like that?
Dada, basically now, of course, this is after 10 years of work that I've come to this stage where today I do get calls from people pick up my number from the internet. My number is like a public number. So if you just Google translocation of a tree, you'll get my number. Or so some keywords, my number pops up. So I do get calls from all across the country. Like now, recently I've received one call from Delhi. Delhi cantonment, there's one huge banyan tree that's fallen down. So they want my help. So this is how it starts off. One aspect is where a tree falls down and somebody wants to save it. So they get in touch with me. Then I ask for some visuals. If I have somebody who can go and do a video call from there, that is how I've saved a tree in Mumbai, Bandra, about 8 trees. So I was not really present over there, but I managed to help save about 8 trees over there. So I look at the tree, I look at the location, then I ask for equipment handlers like a crane operator. They are more
Correct.
technical to see, what is possible, what's not. So I interact with them and look at the possibility of getting equipment to that spot. Like in Goa, what happened was this banyan tree that fell down. There was no way a crane could reach the spot. So, but then again, that particular banyan tree, a huge banyan tree, was very dear to a lot of expats. A lot of the foreigners were very close to that tree. So they did a global fundraising to save that tree. They raised about 3 lakh rupees to save this one tree. But
Oh,
I looked at it as an opportunity where now you have Americans, you have Russians who are enemies who are coming together to save one tree. And if I don't help them, this whole spirit is going to go down. So I had to go personally in that case where it was very difficult because without a crane I had to put up a 120-ton tree. So it was a very technical job, but I went and did it. So sometimes the spirit behind the tree is what pulls me to do the work. Like we had one tree in a small government school in Agar Karnool in Telangana, jalebi tree. The government school, the government girls' high school, that was only one tree which was useful for them. Every year they would get some jungly jalebi out of it. All the other trees were useless. Eucalyptus, which really didn't, give. So the principal asked, she found my number on the internet. And she called me. She said, we had this one tree which has fallen down. Can you help us? My team went. We went about 200 kilometers one day. There was no crane again in the same situation. We, with the help of earth movers, put the tree back up. And now it's been 3 years. Every July 23rd, the teacher celebrates Rakhi with the tree. And she remembers us. The tree is back up. It's alive, fruiting again. The children are getting to eat the fruit. So, so that is one way people reach out to me when some trees fall. Other side
uh,
of it
view-
is
Viewers, in addition to what Udayji said, another way to reach this great man, great personality, you give us the call or mail. Uday is our nature and wildlife editor, so we will pass on the message to him. Additionally, the people who take active part in restoration of the nature and wildlife and trees along with Uday in his activity, we will free of cost publish their story to show them that the world that they have done a good job along with Uday. So whoever is joining hands with Uday will get a free article published about their team in IBG News. That's a promise. As long as I am living, it will be completely free of cost, no question asked.
thank you
Namaskar.
very much, sir. That's very, very generous of you. Because awareness is
So
everything.
it has to
For us.
be.
Yeah.
Professionalism is not all about money; it's about the quality. We forget it. So that is the problem. And Uday, I want to also convey one important information to you. There are a lot of NGOs in West Bengal. One of my friend, Jayanto Banerjee, is a very senior consultant in NGO operations in West Bengal. He has requested me, especially for you, in latter some part of this year. He wants to organize a online seminar with you, maybe 1 or 2 hours from your end, with the kids, school kids, so
Certainly,
that
sir.
they get information about the nature and wildlife and things. I'll show your some of the selected photographs, maybe some of the videographs, your foxtail eco resort around the area, so that they feel at it. And also another thing I want to convey about you, which I didn't told you earlier, that IBG News has decided to start one award in your name.
Oh my.
नेचर उदय बोल के एक अवार्ड हम लोग कर रहे हैं, जो आप सिलेक्ट करेंगे नेचर पे जो काम कर रहा है, whoever is doing good job around in and around nature, that certificate will go to him every month.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. This is an honor. I don't have proper
So,
words to describe what
तो
I'm feeling.
नहीं, जो अच्छा काम करता है उसका काम करेगा तो बालाजी खुश रहेगा हमारे ऊपर.
बिल्कुल,
So
brother.
I am trying to please my Lord through you. So that's
Thank
the
you.
thing.
Thank you. I'm
Okay.
really honored, brother. It's really something
Uday ji,
very, very good.
और एक क्वेश्चन है. You have your one eco resort there. You started your business around nature now.
Uh,
Sustainable development, sustainable tourism, filling the people closeness of the nature, and taking care of the local guys, giving their opportunity for the little bit of job and earnings. It's a really good appreciation. Can you tell me a little bit about that also, if
yes, sir.
awareness for the people?
Basically, Foxtail Eco Retreat is the name of the resort. It is located in Tippeshwar. Tippeshwar is a very small wildlife sanctuary in Maharashtra, Yavatmal district. So I was looking to adopt jungles way back in early 2000s, 2010, 11, 12, those years. And I was shown this jungle by the Maharashtra Forest Department. One of the CCF, Mr. Srinivas Reddy, he was based on Nagpur. So he said it's a very small jungle, nobody is really operating there. It has a very unique character, and close to Hyderabad, it could be convenient for you to adopt this jungle. So I went to this jungle around October November time, the first time, and incidentally that happens to be the time when Tipeshwar is at its prettiest best. It's a very unique jungle where the landscape is stunningly beautiful in October November, post monsoon basically. So we have about 8 or 9 shades of grass in Tipeshwar, which makes it very unique. And I happened to see the jungle exactly at that time. So it was first, I mean, love at first sight. So I really loved the jungle in the first visit itself. So I adopted it as part of my foundation work, and started the work. At that time, there were only two tigers, uh, passing tigers, and the jungle was just falling in place. Like the villages were moved out, water bodies were being created. These kind of activities already going on. So I started work there, and down the line, I came across this one piece of land right close to the gate. I said, okay, fine, let me make an example of how an eco retreat should be, and attracts basically seasoned wildlifers who are not running behind tiger, or who are not running behind, but they want to experience jungle in the calm surroundings. That was the intention of starting Foxtail Eco Retreat. So it basically shares the boundary with the core jungle. A very unique resort. I think it's probably only one of the few in India.
Udayji, with your permission, I want to show one video
Yes, sir.
from your wall itself. Okay,
Okay.
let's see how it looks, and let the
Yes, sir.
people have a feel of it.
Perfect. I think I know which one. Yes, yes. Please do.
Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
So this is a small clip from Uday's.
This is a morning routine at Foxtail Eco Retreat, Dada, where it starts off with all these birds.
This is the bird sound you are getting. All the birds are calling, and in the evening you are enjoying your tea, coffee here beside this small water body. So, viewers, let's come back to Uday again. There are a lot of these videos and stuff are there. Mo- Most importantly, what I can say here, why Uday is unique. There are a lot of wildlife photographers. There are a lot of wildlife enthusiasts, and they are doing very good work. But Uday is not confined with his pleasure, his passion only. He is creating job for the others. That is a direct contribution to the society, and that is the people are forgetting. When you are creating something for the society, that is you are returning back to the India from where you have earned, learned, and everything. So, in a true sense, every Indian should know your story in and out.
Yes, sir.
Why I'm saying this, you could have created a hotel in Cyberabad or Mahbub Nagar or Hyderabad itself and earn much more than what you can get. But what you have created, purely delight for all, and a lot of dignitaries, foreign consulate generals, ambassadors, they are a regular visitor because of the hospitality, because of the closeness with the nature, and the man himself, Uday, and his team. Very much you can feel at home at your with your family. That is the charm. So Uday, let us come back to your eco resort. What are the facilities? Say I purely a family man. I want to have a week holiday, and if I come there, how I will reach there, and what are the things I can see or do there, and obviously, what are the things in your itinerary?
Yes.
In a short.
So This it's a very remote jungle, Dada. Like I'll just add a little bit more to what you just said. I'll, so when I came here, there was absolutely nothing. There was no tourism. So I saw an opportunity where I could really contribute. That was one more thing that was running, driving force behind my actions over there. So today, after 4 5 years, indirectly and directly, I have created employment and dependency for more than 200 families in that area. So that really it's a feeling which I can't put in words. When I see with so many guides, so many gypsy drivers, so many vegetable vendors, meat vendors, everybody, milkman, they really didn't have all this before. So today now they're able to earn a little bit better and they're able to have a better living. That is. I thought I'll just add that little bit to you before I again ask your
So the
question.
villagers around that eco resort, some of them are getting also have a chance of earning because the tourists are coming, they are moving around.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So not only directly employment from the eco Foxtel resort, but also from the as a secondary job generation.
Yes,
Now
yes,
the tourism has coming up as a center there. So this is a very good case study for government of India and state governments, wherein no tourism activity is there. From that virgin place, a new
now it's on.
pockets can be created, and the locals can get job.
Yes, sir.
So it's a
There was
very
not
very good
a,
point you have raised.
when I started, there was not even a single gypsy. There was not a single gypsy. There were no guides. So today we have about 20, 30 gypsies and one gate. We have about 20, 30 guides. So yes, definitely has made a very big difference for them, Dada.
तो सर अपना अब ये आईबीजी न्यूज़ का जो व्यूअर्स है तो वो उधर जाएंगे तो उसको
हाँ,
थोड़ा स्पेशल मिलना चाहिए
absolutely,
because he is our part of our family as well.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
dosto, you just see, I'm trying to get a better deal for you, not in terms of monetary things. Money is not all the things, but you will get to see the things in a vivid and much more pleasure way. But importantly, each and every tourist and packs is same for Uday, be it me or governor or anybody else. He gives equal and respectful treatment to all.
Yes,
So just remember that Udayji is not going to be partial to anybody. So that is the
absolutely.
best part of it. So
Everybody is
Udayji, can you just give a quick guideline if a family of
sure.
four, two adults and maybe two kids are want to have a holiday in your resort and around that, what should be the ideal budget from ex Nagpur to Nagpur?
So basically, to reach Tipeshwar, the nearest airport is Nagpur. The nearest railway station is Adilabad. These are the two things. And from Nagpur, it's about 2.5 hour drive to the resort.
Okay.
So different seasons, we have different reasons to come to the resort. Now, this is the peak season for tigers right now, summer. So the landscape will not be attractive. It will be very, very dry. It's a dry, deciduous jungle. So you won't find much greenery. It will be very hot. But you get that people go back with 10 tigers in one safari. So that is what you get in this season. Come monsoon, it's a very, very different story. Entire place changes. It becomes green. There's water flowing. So in monsoon, the activities are a little bit different. We have wonderful waterfalls close by. There's one waterfall which is called the Indian Niagara Falls, Shastrakund. That is
Yes, yes, yes.
that is close by. So that is one thing. Then there's one waterfall in Adilabad, Kuntala. It's a fantastic place. So in monsoon, you have these other activities apart from the jungle. Then in
उदय
the winter,
एक सेकंड आपको रोकेंगे. आपका ही एक क्लिप चोरी करके दिखा रहा है. तो
okay.
ये ये स्मॉल एक टाइगर. Okay, so friends, this is how if you have a very good wildlife life photographer as your friend, and he has given you a blank check that Dada you can use any of my photo and video in your channel. So you are sitting on a gold mine. सो थैंक यू वंस अगेन उदय जी। तो हम लोग कमिंग बैक, तो ये रफली हम लोग एक बजट अगर रखते हैं पर हेड, तो वो कितना रहता है? 25-30,000 पर हेड का बजट रखते तो?
No, Dada. Basically, what I've done is we have a all-inclusive price for a couple, which in a weekday we charge about 10,000 rupees with all the meals included, and weekend we charge
10,000
10,000, and weekend is 12,000
per day,
per night per couple.
per night, per couple.
Per couple.
So, dear friends, just keep in mind what he's saying. दो जने के लिए 10,000 रुपया में एक खूबसूरत चांदनी रात में जंगल के बीच, शेरों के गुंज के बीच आप गुजर सकते हैं। बोलिए साहब आगे।
So, and we do have uninterrupted power supply, which is very important in that area, Dada. So, I do have solar plants as well as I do have a DG backup, 100%. And being an eco background, the conservation background, my resort treats every single drop of water that is used. So, I have sewage treatment plants for every tent. So every single drop of water gets treated and goes back into the ground. So and apart from this, there's so many other things I do to ensure that the place remains very raw, very like I don't allow music. I don't allow. There's no swimming pools. So it's a very different experience. So some people feel it's like a hostel because I say 10 o'clock night lights off, because after 10 o'clock in the night is when the activity of the animals starts much more. So you hear a lot of wildlife, you hear a lot of calling, sometimes you hear a tiger roaring. So that is the experience I wanted to give to the guests. So,
तो उदय जी, if I put it in a different word, what you said, तो आपने तो जंगल में एक गजल लिख डाले। जो गजल के शौकीन होते हैं उसको हर एक वर्ड पे ध्यान देना होता है कि गजल का असली लुत्फ उठाने के लिए। Correct. So if you want to really appreciate a poetry, you should understand each and every word's meaning. So you
Exactly.
made sure that each sound of cricket, each sound of beetles, everything is audible, everything is visible, and everything is experiencing by the
Exactly.
guest.
Exactly.
So that he is not if he wants to have a swimming pool and a sleeping bed, he can have it in 5-star in any city. But if he
Yes,
really
sir.
wants to understand the what is nature and what is being with the nature, तो वो ही आपने किया है। It's a really aura of the nature there.
Because I keep telling my guests, if you want biryani, you're better off in Hyderabad. आप मेरे पास आके बिरयानी मत पूछिएगा. You get better biryani in Hyderabad. But what you get in Foxtel, you'll not get anywhere else. So I keep trying to tell them that.
तो उदय जी और एक काम कर सकते हैं हम लोग with the locals available in and around your resort, the honey, local honeys जो होता है ना, हनी बी, ये
Yes.
गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का प्रोजेक्ट्स बहुत सारे हैं। क्योंकि हम लोग का जो ये एपिसोड है जो हम लोग अभी बात कर रहे हैं, इसके जरिए हम लोग यूथ को एक मैसेज भी देना चाहते हैं कि आप सिर्फ गवर्नमेंट जॉब को मत सोचो, आप सिर्फ ये मत सोचो कि आपको कोई प्राइवेट बड़ा कंपनी आके नौकरी दे देगा। यू कैन योरसेल्फ बिकम द एम्प्लॉयर। 4-5 बंदा एक साथ जुड़ जाओ, have your fund from the mudra loans and other government schemes together, put together, and become an entrepreneur with a new
Absolutely.
startup in a new location and help the nature to sustain
Sustain.
and locals to sustain, so that they will take care of the nature itself.
Tata, with your permission, I'll just show it to you. I'll explain what I'm doing, so it will be better understood.
Absolutely.
Just one
Please, please,
second.
please, sir.
Yeah.
Please, sir. তো আমরা উদয়ের সাথে কথা বলছিলাম। দর্শক বন্ধুরা, আমি বাংলায় এই জন্য বলছি, আমাদের অনেক বাংলা থেকে বন্ধুরা রয়েছেন। উদয় ইজ রিয়েলি একজন সত্যিকারের ভালো নেচার লাভিং পারসন।
Dada.
আমরা হ্যাঁ, ইয়েস, উই আর ব্যাক।
So for I had this thing in my mind to create some employment based upon honey.
Oh my
but
God,
the
you
locals
already
don't
done it.
understand. The locals don't understand it. So what I started doing is I collect wild honey and I
Okay.
label it year wise.
Okay.
So now I show it to them. Now the guests come and buy this honey from me. So then these boys see, they're like, अरे ये तो बहुत ही आसान है. And now I'm trying to get them help to set up farms, honeybee farms,
इसके
which
ऊपर एक स्टोरी बनता सर, इसके ऊपर
people
ही एक्सक्लूसिव एक स्टोरी
absolutely,
बनता, and आई विल कम डाउन टू योर प्लेस and shoot it on myself.
and and the place has huge potential for honey. And
Absolutely.
other thing about this place, Dada, it's a very dry place, so there's not much of farming. And then the animals come, whatever little farming is there, the animals come and destroy.
अच्छा, वहां
So
पे स्लॉथ बियर है क्या?
sloth bear hai, Dada, but sloth bear is
लेस इन
there.
नंबर,
Not yeah, not as much as. So we haven't had any
क्योंकि
sloth bear interaction.
हनी है तो स्लॉथ बियर का चांस रहता है, वो हनी खाने के लिए, आप पीने के लिए आते हैं वहां पे.
तो खाने देना चाहिए दादा, उनके लिए भी रखना थोड़ा.
Absolutely. So tiger, sloth bear, maybe you have wild dogs also.
We have wild dogs, we have jackals, we have wolves, we uh, uh, we have chinkara, we've got
Owls, owl, Brahmani
plenty of
kites,
owls, plenty of owls, plenty
eagles,
of. Yes, yes. Here,
kingfisher,
Nilgai.
flycatcher, all sorts of birds.
Flycatchers, I have a picture of about 40 flycatchers taking off from one spot. So they have this dust bath every day.
Oh,
For a photographer, he's got opportunity in every direction he looks at. From bugs to birds to tiger, everything. So
so
I
my
do.
young friends who are watching and having a DSLR just got as a birthday gift from your dads, make a plan to reach there with your friends and explore your wildlife photography skill. And the master himself will be there. Uday is really a gem of person with gem of hands in wildlife photography. So we are expecting a lot of good young friends.
Absolutely. I have a dormitory just for
Okay,
photographers. So I think
fantastic.
that's people want to come stay for extended period of time. That's the it's much more economical.
So, Uday, if ask you one question, that in terms of government help and an entrepreneur like you, what are the things already has been done, and what are the things you people really need to uphold this self-help employment kind of thing in a much more better and much more scalable way?
There is a lot of work in that area, Dada. My personal experience, uh,
Yes,
because I consider myself, yeah, Dada. All my business career, I have not done anything which does not have a national or a social cause attached to it. So I don't really do anything just to make money. It has to contribute somewhere to the nation or to the society where you're from. So that's been the
absolutely.
principles behind my business. Even with that background, I found a lot of difficulties in the policy that's in place to the deliverables. There is a huge gap. Nobody's fault, just the way the system is set up. So I think yes, I mean if I can appeal to the government, there is definitely a lot of area that needs to be improvised to encourage and support people and entrepreneurs like me. We are basically contributing to the local economies, creating jobs, creating out of nothing.
Absolutely. If you look at Northeast, Donier Ministry is
Yes,
giving so many fund to development of the Northeast, which is good. Similarly, if our environment and forest department creates and support system for the entrepreneur in the initial years, let them stable and stabilize, and they get it into the feet. Ultimately, it will earn the revenue for the government in terms
it
of
does.
GST, in
Yes,
terms of employment to the youth, employment coming down the level of insurgency, if at all there is something.
agree.
So, in many folds, the benefit is there, and on top of it, you are getting byproduct as nature,
Absolutely.
green byproduct.
And I
So,
will be
which
more
is
than happy I will be more than happy to showcase my experience as a case study if the government wants to consider it, where it can be improved.
Let consider me as your helping hand. I'll be love to be a part of that project itself. So it's a
Yes, sir.
really good, and even I can bring inside a lot of institute who are forest management institute and other staff in this project as a voluntary project globally set up, and maybe it's an international because my friend South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development, Skill Development, Chairman Vishwajit Rai Chaudhary, I will request him to come down with one session with you and all, so that we can come up with a good project for the government as a case study,
Yes, sir. Because
and
actually,
that
uh,
will help.
FCRI Telangana is now talking to VATA Foundation to establish a protocol for translocation. So I'm very fortunate to have opened up that subject with them. So now they're setting up a white paper on translocation, and they've taken a lot of inputs from me. So I do hope, if on the business side also, I'll be able to contribute quite a bit. Something can be done.
It gives me as a person very satisfying experience in two-way. One, and that is my friend brother is getting the recognition. Second is from the very first day, unconditionally IBG News stood by VATA Foundation for
Yes,
each
sir.
and every activity. So somewhere our news channel also contributed to the green
Absolutely.
part of the world. So
Absolutely.
इसके लिए श्रेय आपको जाता है फिर से. It's all credits to you, sir. तो
Sir.
उदय जी, आज हम लोग ऑलमोस्ट 52 मिनट्स क्रॉस कर गए हैं अपनी ये डिस्कशन का. आई विल नॉट स्टॉप यू एनी फर्दर. नेक्स्ट डे 20th 8 p.m. we will be again meeting how to manage your waste to a greener economy, greener environment, and making your city less pollution prone. So
Yes.
raising garbage to electricity, how it is possible. A technical, nature-friendly discussion. Again, we'll have our good old friend Udayji, but in a different role.
Yes, sir.
And his
Sir,
friend will be also joining.
two years
But
back, I wrote a small story on plastic that is ending up in the ocean, Dada.
yeah,
I'll elaborate when we have this discussion on 20th. But that is a
okay,
starting point. That's starting point.
fantastic,
Again,
fantastic.
IBG news.
तो उदय जी एंड हमारे सारे दर्शकों को a lot of love, respect, and thanks for watching us. Good night. Stay blessed, stay safe, and be a good citizen of your own country. Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much.
much, Dada. Thank you so much. Thank you to the
Bye
viewers.
bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good